So before we take this ahead, there are 9 reasons why a mother is not happy. Okay, it could be any of these 9 reasons that is holding the mother back from being happy. So just check if any of this reason fits you as well. If so, it's time that you rearrange your brain. Number 1, it could be your unplanned or unexpected pregnancy. You may not be in a state of planning for a child, but something came unexpected or unplanned, and it's very hard to accept because you have other plans of your career, your things to be done in your life, and etc. Sometimes it can be your previous miscarriage, the thing that haunts most of the women, okay, that keeps them being under the control of fear, not being able to be happy. Next, it could be stillborn child or dead child in the previous times. So any mother who had a stillborn child has both traumatic pregnancy as well as traumatic childbirth experiences, which haunts her for her lifetime. And any baby which is born fine, but after few days or few months or few years, if the child has died due to some reason, that creates a deep negative impact in the mother's mind. That holds her back from being happy because she's having that still in her mind, and that is still haunting her, and she doesn't want something bad to happen to this child as well. So ultimately she is in the edge of the knife, saving every single minute of her pregnancy and passing it with utmost fear. Next, it could be an unsupportive family. You may be all set to be happy, but when the family support is not something that you are expecting to, or when you cannot turn to someone else in your family when you're happy or sad or when you're frustrated, that puts a hell lot of a load on the mother's shoulder. Next, it could be the ton of horror stories that you hear all around the place. My pregnancy had this problem, my labor had this problem, I had this kind of negative experience. No one ever came to you and said my pregnancy was beautiful, I had an amazing pregnancy, I enjoyed every single minute of my pregnancy. Did any time ever in the past or in the future do you expect someone to come and say you this? No, because people always say nazar na lagenge. I don't know if I'm saying that right. In Tamil we say kannu patru podu. So if anything good happens and we say it out, people will start honking or will start putting out a bad eye on us, which will create all negative impacts to us. So people never say what's good that's happening in their life. People always tend to share their horror stories and never the good side of the story. That is the problem that we are facing today, that we have tons of horror stories of pregnancy, miscarriages and labor, and never ever a good story to share with the world. And it's my mission to spread that positivity and spread that happiness and spread that good side of the pregnancy and the childbirth and the family support in the pregnancy and that of the motherhood to this entire world, and at least to 1 million mothers, to make their pregnancy and motherhood a better place, a better journey. Next, it could be because you are vulnerable to lots of opinion. Whenever you're pregnant, you are like an letterbox to everyone to put their suggestions inside, like a suggestion box or letter box, whatever it is. People start bombarding you with their opinions. They don't know if it's right or wrong, but still they wanted to spit it out to you. And that makes a lot of opinion for the mother, and it's a lot more to process. Next, you could be anxious or overwhelmed because of all the things that is happening in your pregnancy, the new added responsibilities. That can put a lot of burden on your shoulders, or at least unexpected pleasant surprise, I can say. So that would make you like, oh my god, I need to be responsible now, I need to be doing this, that would make you anxious, that would make you overwhelmed, which in turn keeps you away from being happy. When all this responsibility, overwhelmingness, anxiousness kicks in, happiness takes the back seat. You could handle everything with utmost care, utmost responsibility, and with utmost happiness in every single step of your journey. That's what I'm looking for to each one of you. Next, it could be the physical changes that are hard to cope with in your pregnancy. Your body is not the same, your mind is not the same, your hormones are not the same. There are lots of ups and downs that's happening in your body, because of which it's insane sometimes. You could not put yourself together, which keeps you away from happiness. And the last one is, you may be a so positive person, so happy person, but something that happened in your pregnancy, okay, in the recent days. Some test results came out not so good, or some changes in the scan, especially anomaly scan, or some blood results that came out not in your way. That could be something unexpected, and because of which you can hold yourself from being happy. That keeps you on your toes of being nervous all the time, which on the other hand makes you apprehensive, or anxious, and makes you less happy. If yours also fit into some of the above 9 reasons that I mentioned earlier, then it's time that you rewire your brain. Always a solution comes after you find a problem. Without finding the problem, you cannot find the solution. So now I have mentioned all the top reasons, or all the common reasons why a mother is unhappy or holding herself back from being happy. Now that you know this, you need to take charge of your pregnancy and understand, okay, this is my problem. What am I going to do to change this, or to make this a better one? That is going to be a task, and you are going to take this ahead seriously, because as I mentioned earlier, your baby and your health, your mental health, your happiness is going to be the utmost priority for the next 9 months. Do this as a homework.